Toby came home today. My sister today went to the vet clinic to pick up his ashes, and he came home today after nearly a month. Took 3 weeks for Toby to come back home. Actually, more than 3 weeks. Well, he's home now. I asked my mom if she has a place to put him, and I'm not very happy with the answer. It's the exact same answer as Billy had all those years ago. So my mom, where she plans to put Toby, is the garage. Now, if you remember, that was the exact same case for Billy 5 years ago. In my garage, there is a cabinet on the wall, and my mom plans to put his ashes there. Now, if you ask me, that's absolute bullshit, because if it was up to me, their urns, their ashes, their remains would be in the living room. They deserve to be inside and with the family all the time. Not in the garage. So I find it absolutely bullshit that my parents would even consider leaving their remains in the garage. He belongs inside with us. They belong inside with us. 5 years ago, the exact same thing happened with Billy's ashes. Billy's ashes were in the garage, and, my dad, he would frequently smoke in the garage. If he doesn't want to completely step outside to smoke, he'll stand in the garage with the door open to air it out, quote-unquote air it out. And I just had it. I'm just like, you know what? I'm done with this shit. Beanie, honey, you do not belong outside in the cold garage, completely covered in smoke. I'm taking you inside. And that's what I did. I went outside, I grabbed his ashes, and I just brought them inside. Because there was no way I was leaving his ashes outside in the garage, covered in smoke. So, in my opinion, it's absolute bullshit that my parents want to keep their ashes in the garage. Like I said, if it were up to me, they would be displayed in the living room so that they would always be with us. But the stupid Chinese superstitious shit, they keep on saying, like, you can't mix death with life. You can't have death in the main house because that brings bad luck. That's bad feng shui or whatever the fuck. Having death in the house, having, technically, a dead body in the house brings bad energy, and that's bad for us, because yada yada yada, bad fortune, bad luck, I don't care. I don't care about all that Chinese superstitious garbage. My mom even went so far as to ask me, like, talking about herself. If I was dead, would you leave me in the living room? Would you have your mother's ashes in the living room? I didn't answer her, but I was like, in my mind, I'm thinking, what if I said yes? What if I said yes? Would you want me to keep you in the garage? Or would you be rather in the house with the family all the time? Me personally, I feel like I would be disrespected if I were to die. My ashes were kept in the garage of all places. Not in the house with the family. No, I'm kept in the garage. The disrespect. But yeah, Toby came home today. I actually don't know where he is. I didn't see his urn anywhere. Granted, I didn't really take a look because I didn't want to... I didn't want to see what remains of my boy. At least not yet. But it is comforting to know that he is back. He's back home now. Hell, even if it was up to me, I would have his urn in my bedroom, just on my table. Right there with me all the time. But nope, that's not allowed. I wasn't even allowed to paint my room red. Goddamn culture of hypocrites. When we moved into this house, I was asked, what wall color do you want? What paint color do you want on the walls of your house? On the walls of your room. My favorite color's red, so I would have liked to have a red room, but nope. Red is evil. Red brings bad luck. But also in Chinese culture, red means good luck. Ever notice Chinese New Year, everything is red? Goddamn hypocrites. Well, the bottom line is, Toby's back home. Well, let's move on, because we have a lot to discuss today. Not only do we have the shows to talk about, we also have an entire Nintendo Direct to go over. Because today, September 12th, was a Nintendo Direct, an hour-long Direct. I'll be honest, I missed like half of it. I woke up at 10. No, wait. No, I woke up a little bit earlier today because someone came over to deal with some stuff in the house. So I woke up around 9:30, so I was about half an hour late. And then I looked online, I'm just like, Nintendo news? Wasn't the Direct tomorrow? And then I looked online, oh no, it was today. And now it's already happening. Oh, well let me watch it. So today, there was a Nintendo Direct. I'll link it down below for anyone in the future who wants to reflect back on what I'm talking about today. Let's be honest, I know damn well no one's gonna watch this in the future. So today's Nintendo Direct... Actually, let me look something up first, because I want to make sure I have my facts right. Okay, I got the release date. Okay. So, the Nintendo Direct opened up with some Mario information. Because next year is going to be the 40th anniversary for Super Mario Bros. And to celebrate the 40th anniversary for Mario, we got some good stuff coming up. So first, we got our First, we got our official teaser for the Mario Brothers movie sequel. And the title is... You know what? I should play some music as I discuss this. Play some banger music. So, the movie title for the Mario Brothers movie... Oops, mute that. I didn't have the direct muted. The title is the Super Mario Galaxy movie. I tell you, I almost came when I saw that. A Mario Galaxy movie. You know damn well, I love Mario Galaxy. Along with many fans out there, Mario Galaxy is probably the best Mario ever. At least that's what I like. Me personally, I love Mario Galaxy. Like the two games. My personal favorite Mario game of all time is Mario Galaxy 2. So, a Mario Galaxy movie? That's the stuff dreams are made of. 15 years ago, when these Mario Galaxy games came out, a Mario Galaxy movie? That's unheard of. That's something only dreams happen in. What? You know what I'm trying to say. 15 years ago, when these Mario Galaxy games first came out, we had never conceived the possibility of a Mario Galaxy movie. A full-blown feature film on the big screen, all about Mario Galaxy. I kind of hoped the sequel would dive more into Galaxy. I was hoping Rosalina would be in would be in the sequel too. Because, you know, Rosalina's so beautiful, so beautiful. So I was really hoping Rosalina would be in the sequel, and it seems like it's a slam dunk. She's going to be in it 100% now. But yeah, I was hoping the sequel would have Galaxy elements, but I didn't expect the movie to fully be all about Mario Galaxy. I was on Euphoria after hearing this announcement. I ascended. And not only that, not only announcing the Galaxy movie, they also, alongside the announcement, revealed Mario Galaxy plus Mario Galaxy 2. A double game package together coming to Nintendo Switch and Switch 2. Finally, Galaxy 2 is getting a port. At long last. I have waited so long to play Galaxy 2 in modern HD graphics, and even better, on the go. I had to wait 5 years. Let me show you something. Let me show you something real quick. Hold on. Okay, move aside for a second. You guys remember 5 years ago when this came out? This right here. Remember 5 years ago when this game came out? We were all wondering why there was no Galaxy 2. By the way, this one's new. This one's unopened. I bought 2 of these. Would you believe? I bought 2 copies of this game so that I can leave one packaged, one unopened. Since, you know, it's a limited time game, a limited time collection that I knew a completely sealed copy would be worth buttloads in the future. So I got myself a second copy just to not open. So, Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 are releasing as a double game bundle for the Switch consoles. And you know what? You wanna know what the best part is about Nintendo's shitty game practices lately? Business practices? I bought this game here 5 years ago. And yes, it's been that long. 5 years ago this thing came out. 5 years ago, I bought this bundle for full price, and now I get to buy the exact same game again at full price. Plus the game that should have been included here to begin with. So I get to purchase the same game again at full price. Like, really let that sink in. Let that really absorb into your mind. I bought this game, this collection of games 5 years ago, at full price. And now, 5 years later, I get to buy the exact same game again at full price if I want to experience Galaxy 2. Now, I know some of you are gonna mention, didn't you notice the message at the bottom? It said digital versions of Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 will be available on the Nintendo eShop. Yeah, but that's digital. I don't want that shit. I'm not about to buy no digital copy. I'm buying physical. You out of your damn mind if I'm gonna buy digital. Have you not paid attention these past few years about stop killing games, digital games? One day the store library will close down and then you won't have access to your games anymore. Who the hell ringing my doorbell? That's not even possible. My doorbell's not even outside. Hold on. Ah, I see what happened. My Ring doorbell is out of power, so we have it charging inside. Now that it has power to function again, you know, the doorbell rang. So no, there's no one outside who actually rang the doorbell, because there is no doorbell outside to ring. So anyways, I will absolutely be purchasing this. I had the privilege of buying this 5 years ago. And now, just as Nintendo expects me to, like the good boys and girls that we are, I will happily, palm in hand, hand over my money to buy the same game again at full price. But this is Galaxy 2. It's worth it. And let's face it, we know damn well I'm gonna buy this game. And not only that, they also announced Mario Galaxy amiibos that go alongside it. So we have an amiibo of Mario with the launch star and a Luma, and Rosalina reading the storybook to the Lumas. And I'm just gonna skip ahead a bit. They announced a couple of amiibos today, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I already have all of them pre-ordered. And holy fucking shit are they expensive now. I was predicting, I bet all of these will be the new standard $40. And oh yeah, that's the case. The Mario Galaxy amiibos, $40 a piece. The Metroid amiibos, $40 a piece. It's the Kirby ones. Kirby, so today they also announced amiibos for Kirby Air Riders. They only announced 2. They announced Kirby and Bandana Waddle Dee. But they even said expect more amiibos to come, which means more money of mine that are gonna go straight to Nintendo. So the gimmick with the Kirby Air Rider amiibos is that you can swap the riders. Just like with the Monster Hunter amiibos, you can swap out the characters. Which means, oh shit, another set of amiibos for me to mix and mash until I have every single possible combination. I do plan to do that with the Monster Hunter amiibos, but I don't have that started yet just because, well, money. And also the scarcity of them. And now that we're getting another set of amiibos where the characters can mix mash, shit. So one day I will collect enough amiibos of all of them to mix and mash until I have every single possibility in combination. Oh, that's a lot of money right there. And for what? Just to have Kirby sit on a different machine? Yes. I'm gonna need to buy like 8 of the same amiibos just to swap them out. And, oh, I tell you, if it wasn't for the price, this wouldn't hurt as much. The Kirby amiibos are, what, like $54.99 each? So damn near $60. So I pre-ordered the 2 Mario Galaxy amiibos, the 3 Metroid amiibos, and the 2 Kirby amiibos. All of it came out to just shy of $350 Canadian. Oh my god. And you have to keep in mind too, this is just the amiibos. I don't even have a Switch 2 yet. And I don't even have the games yet. Fuck my life. So, yeah, they also announced that the storybook Rosalina reads, it's gonna be a physical product. Obviously, I want it. I'll have to keep my eye on it. They also announced that in the actual game, new storybook pages were added to Rosalina's storybook. And they even said that it's available in both games, in Galaxy 1 and 2. I wonder how that's gonna work, because the storybook was not in Galaxy 2. And I'm very curious what the new storybook pages are gonna be. But the physical book will not have the new story pages. It's just like, what the fuck? But whatever, I still want it nonetheless, because this is Mario Galaxy, baby. I love it. And you know, for a split moment, for just a split moment in time, I had hope. I had a glimmer of hope. I was thinking, the Mario Galaxy movie, Galaxy 1 and 2, there is no better time to announce Mario Galaxy 3. Come on, Nintendo Direct, give me Mario Galaxy 3. Sadly, no Mario Galaxy 3. I could cry. But yeah, sadly, no Mario Galaxy 3. And remember, I will also take a Mario Galaxy Maker. Just like with Super Mario Maker 1 and 2. Give me a game with all the assets. We can build our own galaxy levels. I will play that shit endlessly. But yeah, sadly no Galaxy 3, but hey, Mario Galaxy Movie, which is a huge win, just in human history, and Galaxy 1 and 2 port, again, for one of them, Galaxy Amiibos, we live in good, my wallet's not, but yeah, serotonin be flooding. Anyway, so I'm not going to go over everything in this Nintendo Direct, because frankly, I don't care about everything. I'm only going to go over the things I care about. Let's see, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, not gonna lie, I don't care. The game didn't interest me, so I didn't buy it, and I never played it. It looks like there's a new borderline Yoshi's Island game, but not really Yoshi's Island. It's like Yoshi and the Mysterious Book. Cool. Me personally, I don't really care. So, what other things did they announce that I actually care about? So, aside from the Kirby Amiibos they announced, they also announced that another Nintendo Direct on Kirby Air Riders will happen, hosted by, once again, Masahiro Sakurai. It just shows how much this man put into this game. You can tell this was a passion project for him. To the point he needs to do 2 separate directs just to go over everything. Oh, one other thing. Remember how initially, when I discussed Kirby Air Riders, I mentioned how there were so many Sakurai specialties put in? Because you can tell, a lot of the art styles is the exact same as Smash. Even the amiibos are the exact same style here. Like, you can tell everything is Sakurai style. So, cool. Another Kirby Air Riders Direct coming up soon. We got a little trailer for Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. I still need a Switch 2, because I want to play this game. God, the hell with my life. It's just money down the drain. So, a new character revealed to be playable. A Korok. Okay. I guess why not? They needed characters playable. So why not a Korok, I guess? Not a whole lot for me to go over. It just shows a bunch of flashes in the game. You can ride on Zonite devices to fight a Gleeok. That's pretty cool. Can't wait to see that in action. It also has game share and split screen. Cool, cool. But yeah, it was just a pretty flashy trailer. I'm sure Zeltic and others are gonna go frame by frame, breaking everything down. Don't forget, my cousin still took my game. He took my Age of Calamity. And my Skyward Sword, goddammit. Let's see, Dragon Quest, I don't care. So they were announcing more to the NSO expansion pack. I thought, okay, cool, maybe more GameCube games, because right now I think they only have 3. Oh, hell no. They announced the Virtual Boy. Why? I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know the Virtual Boy, all the games were in red. I didn't know that. The Virtual Boy was way ahead of my time. And then they sell you this piece of garbage Virtual Boy accessory, if you even want to play the Virtual Boy. And then there's even a cardboard model. Man, I am not spending money on this thing. I didn't even buy Nintendo Labo. I was not paying for sheets of cardboard. But yeah, there you go if you care about it, the Virtual Boy. Me personally, I don't. Power Wash Simulator is coming to Switch. In fact, is that Power Wash Simulator? Yeah, it is. Power Wash Simulator 2. I didn't even know there was a sequel. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, or whatever the game was called. Sorry, not a fan of Metroid, as in I've never played a game of Metroid. Maybe one day I'll get into the franchise, but right now, there's a lot going on in life. Just simply being a fan of Mario, Zelda, Kirby, Pokemon, that's already a lot. Donkey Kong Bonanza is getting an expansion. Cool. I don't have the game, and me personally, I don't think I'm gonna buy the game. Just doesn't interest me that much, but cool. Cool if you're into it. The hell am I hearing? Hold on. Oh. I was hearing something from outside. I'm like, the hell is that? Never mind. It's just reels on my mom's phone as she comes downstairs. So yeah, Donkey Kong Bonanza, cool. A new Pokemon game was announced. At first, the art style made me think, is this like Pokemon Minecraft? Kinda. But then it's also like Pokemon Animal Crossing. So Pokemon Pokopia, because, you know, they had to mix the name Pokemon with Utopia. Pokopia. That's I'm not gonna lie, I don't like the name of it. But whatever. You play as a Ditto who turns into a human. And then you recruit Pokemon to basically Animal Crossing. Cool, okay. Me personally, I don't think I'm gonna pick up this game. I don't really care. But cool. And then here's the big one that they kind of just brush over as if it wasn't important. We got a small little Legends ZA trailer where they just nonchalantly reveal the Mega Evolutions for the Gen 6 starters. So today we saw the Mega Evolutions for Chestnut, Delphox, and Greninja. We have their official Mega Evolutions now. And it just happens so fast in this direct, they just brush it over. They don't even really acknowledge it. And, yeah, I like the designs. There is one thing I don't like about Mega Delphox's design, and that is, like, the chin fur going down, looking like a beard. I don't know. I think it's pretty clear Delphox's design is more feminine, and now that it has what looks like a beard, it just kind of puts me off. So Mega Chestnut actually looks pretty cool. It looks like royalty. Mega Delphox looks like an actual witch riding on a broomstick with other broomsticks around her. And then Mega Greninja was exactly what the leaks said it would be. Just Greninja hanging upside down on a giant water shuriken. I like it. I like it. However, that kind of means RIP to Ash Greninja. And it also... I see Mega Greninja, I can't help but think of Chun-Li's helicopter kick. So not only did they reveal the Mega Evolutions for the Gen 6 starters, they also announced DLC for Legend ZA. They announced the DLC even before the game came out. Kind of crazy, kind of bold. And in that reveal trailer for the DLC, we saw not only Hoopa, we also saw Mega Raichu X and Y. Raichu has 2 Mega Evolutions. While I'm not opposed to Raichu having 2 Megas, the thing I'm most disappointed about is the fact that, oh shit, I guess this means my idea for a Mega Galarian Slowbro is dead. It looks like we're never getting a Mega Regional form, because Raichu has 2 Mega Evolutions and neither one are the Alolan form. You could have given us Mega Raichu X as the Cantonian form, and then Mega Raichu Y be the Alolan form. Hell, there was even a screenshot that came out after the Direct that Alolan Pokemon, Hisuian Pokemon, regional forms are supported in the game. I guess we just cannot Mega Evolve regional forms, which sucks, because I wanted one so badly. I really wanted to see a regional form Mega Evolution. And, well, they gave Raichu 2 Megas. They're not going to give Raichu 2 more Megas by allowing the Alolan form to have 2 Megas. So, fuck me, I guess. We're not ever getting a regional Mega form. Man, that's wildly disappointing. But, whatever. I guess 2 Mega Raichus is cool, I guess. I saw people online saying that the Mega Raichus look more like Pikachu than Raichu. It's kind of funny. Obviously, they wanted to give us Mega Pikachu, but they couldn't break their own rules, where, you know, only fully evolved Pokemon can Mega Evolve. But then again, isn't AZ's Floette going to Mega Evolve? Whatever. So, not gonna lie, despite me liking the Mega Raichu designs, I'm a little disappointed that we're not ever getting a regional Mega Evolution, because damn, I wanted one. So, Legend ZA news, cool. And I don't know, I don't know why I'm going to mention this. They ended the Direct with a new Fire Emblem game. Now, I'm not a Fire Emblem fan, I never played a single game. But I did consider it at one point. You know, I heard non-stop hype and good stuff about 3 Houses, so I considered picking it up at some point. I still never did. Maybe I will one day, but, yeah. So, this new... I keep almost calling it Final Fantasy. This new Fire Emblem game, I couldn't help but notice that in the end of the trailer, we see an aged-up Sothis. Now, I do know about her. Now, I'm kind of thinking, I thought Sothis... Unless I have my information wrong, I thought Sothis was eternally young. Or do I just have that wrong? Or could this be Byleth? I don't know the lore, something about Byleth getting green hair and combining with Sothis at the end of the game. I don't know, someone let me know. Or I could just play the game myself. So yeah, Nintendo Direct, there's everything that I care about. God I need to switch to. Otherwise, I'm gonna be left behind. So, stuff outside... Oops, I exited the tab, the wrong tab. So outside of the Nintendo Direct, we got a small little announcement that in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, we will officially be getting Shiny Koraidon and Miraidon. They're gonna start, if I'm not mistaken, September 26th. They're gonna start in Japan, US, Canada, and I think Australia. So, yay, lucky me. So, no news for Europe just yet. So, we'll be going to our game distribution store. So, for us here, it would be EB Games and GameStop. And then for Japan, I'm not too sure. I will absolutely be trying to get my hands on those codes. In fact, I'll try to get multiple. Not to give away, sadly, just because nobody watches me for me to give them away. If people watch me, oh yeah, I'd be happy to give some away. But since nobody watches me, I'm gonna collect multiple codes because I have multiple game files. So, Nintendo Direct. I see more hype surrounding this Direct than I'd see backlash and negativity. You know? I haven't really seen anyone mention the fact that, 5 years ago they made you buy the 3D All-Stars, and now they're charging you full price again to buy one of the same games. Yeah, I haven't really seen any backlash on that. Or maybe I just haven't looked. The amiibo prices are beyond acceptable. Even if the whole gimmick is for these ones to swap characters, they still should not be... What, like... nearly 5 times the initial price of like $15.99 back in the day? Oh, whatever. I'm still not happy that I need to pay full price for this again. This again, full price, just to get the sequel game, which I personally like more, and that I've waited 5 years for a port. 5 years for a port! But I'm still happy, though. I'm still happy I'm finally getting the port, and also a Mario Galaxy movie. That's the biggest win. Only question is now... Actually, this is a question saved for much later on. If the sequel is going to be Galaxy, what's the third movie gonna be? I suppose the third movie could do more like Odyssey. But then again, Mario, its environment, its world is so rich. You know, to be honest, in the Mario movie, we barely explored the Mushroom Kingdom. So while I'm glad that the sequel we're getting will be Galaxy, it does make me wonder, well, what's next? You know? It also makes me a little bit worried of the pacing for the movie. Mario Galaxy is rich. It is super freaking rich. You have 2 games worth of source material to pick from. You know? Are we just gonna get a traveling montage seeing handfuls of galaxies from the games, how much time will we actually spend in the galaxies, in whole different planets out in the universe? Which ones are going to be the exact same as the games, and which ones are going to be inspired by the game levels? Are we going to see Cosmic Mario? Are we going to see... Are we going to see Lubba? How about that? Rosalina's guaranteed in the movie. At least she better be. What about Lubba? How would he fit into the movie? He's kind of a pretty big Mario Galaxy character. So, I trust them. I'm sure they know what they're doing. Oh yeah. Today in Pokemon Go, I got a shiny Shinx to start off the day. And then later on in the day, I got a shiny Eevee. Pretty nice, pretty nice. So let me know what you thought about today's Nintendo Direct. What are you looking forward to? What did you like and not like? What do you care about the most? If anyone actually watches this, let me know. Oh man, a Switch 2 is so expensive. Oh, one other thing that was announced for Switch 2 is the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection. I'm kind of surprised that's coming to Switch. I'm still curious what games are actually in that collection. I hope it's every game before, let's say, Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe. While I would like it to be every game before the quote-unquote modern era of Mortal Kombat, so before Mortal Kombat 9, the soft reboot, I feel like MK versus DC is a little bit big to put onto that. But maybe not. So my personal hope would be everything from Mortal Kombat 1, not the most recent game, like the first Mortal Kombat game, all the way up to MK versus DC Universe. And if that's too much to ask, then maybe Mortal Kombat, the first Mortal Kombat, all the way up to Mortal Kombat, I think it was Armageddon, that was the last one before that. So everything from Mortal Kombat up to Mortal Kombat Armageddon, please. Because, once again, majority of these games were before my time, so I never really played any Mortal Kombat game before Mortal Kombat vs. DC. I know, what a fake gamer, what a loser. But, you know, yeah, I just never got a chance to get those because I was too young. I didn't even know those games existed. And while I guess it would be cool to play Mortal Kombat on the go, me personally, I would actually rather get it on my PlayStation 4. Because let's face it, on the go, all the games I have access to, I ain't playing Mortal Kombat. Come on now. But, you know, happy day today. Happy day. So many good announcements came out. It may not be happy for my wallet, but still, happy day. Okay, let me drink some water and then let's discuss these shows, if I have enough time to discuss them all. So my sister took Sky to her condo tonight. So there is no dogs in the house tonight. My mom's upstairs in bed. My dad's downstairs in the basement with his friends, and I'm here doing this. The house is pitch black and silent. I can't believe we're actually getting Mario Galaxy amiibos. That is so incredible. And then these Kirby amiibos too, they look so good. Finally, some more Kirby amiibos. We only have the 4, plus the ones in Smash, which is 3. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I did notice that the base for these Kirby amiibos is different from the blue ones we have. I would have liked them to stay the blue, but what are you gonna do, right? Majority of the amiibos, they stuck with a certain color palette for their series. Mario's bases are all red. Zelda bases are all this like tan color. All the Smash ones have the same black base. In my opinion, and seeing my own collection, oh yeah, also all the Animal Crossing bases are the same. The only amiibo in the same franchise that have the base change is Monster Hunter. The Monster Hunter amiibo's bases change all the time. So I guess Kirby's following suit. Even some of the miscellaneous ones, like the Fire Emblem ones, even their bases all share the same color. I can't believe we're getting a Metroid amiibo with a freaking motorcycle on it. It's pretty dope. The Metroid amiibos are actually pretty creative. We have the actual Metroid one, which is very squishy. We have the Emmy? Was that what it's called? The Emmy one? That one's actually pretty cool looking. While this one's a Smash Brothers series, the Dark Samus one has incredible detail. Yeah, so the Metroid amiibos, if anything, are really creative. Okay, let's move on. Yeah. Let's move on and talk about The Boys. So this was The Boys season 4, episode 7. So the second last episode in the season. And currently, right now, the second last episode ever until season 5 comes out. Which is not out yet, so this is the second last episode that we have of. So, this episode actually had a lot of plot moments, a lot of plot points that move forward. This was a really big episode in terms of storylines. You can tell that they're wrapping up storylines before the season finale. And they're also setting stuff up for the season finale and maybe the next season also. So, we get a time jump. We get a time jump in this episode. It has been quite a while since the last episode. Now, it's actually Christmas time. We open up with Ryan rehearsing for this like Christmas puppet musical thing. And he's not feeling it. What order do I break down the stuff here? So I guess I'll just go one at a time. So that's how the episode started. So, So Butcher comes back to the boys, and he reveals what he's been doing, where he's been for the past little while. He's just like, remember Samir? Well, he's not that dead, actually. He's been working for me to create another dose of that virus. And they even point out, but we found his leg. And then he's just like, yeah. You cut off his leg? So Butcher reveals to the team that in order to make a dose potent enough to kill Homelander, it would need to cause a global pandemic. But out of the goodness in Butcher, the very little bit, he reveals that despite Joe Kessler in his head warning him not to, he reveals it so that, you know, the team is on board. Even Butcher is not on board for mass genocide. And then they have a plan, because they luckily know a chemist who might be able to help with preparing the virus, with making sure that it's potent enough to kill Homelander, but also doesn't need to kill billions worldwide. And in comes Frenchie. Now, the obvious question is, how is he out and about? It's just a throwaway line. Butcher just says he got Mallory to pull a few strings. Well, that's lazy. That kind of sucks. Especially a couple episodes ago, you just asked MM to get a presidential pardon. Why didn't you just do that? But whatever. Whatever. Frenchie's out, and even he said against his will. Is it a crime? I mean, let's think about that real quick. You're released from prison and you refuse to leave. Is that a crime? What are they gonna do? Arrest you for refusing to leave jail? So anyways, yeah. So they split up. Frenchie and Kimiko keep an eye on Samir to make sure he works on the virus. While Butcher, Huey, and Annie, they go and they track down something for some reason. I'm actually not too sure why they did this. It kind of wasn't relevant to the plot, aside from setting up a storyline, but whatever. And then MM, he was supposed to follow, but then he's just like, I can't, I gotta sit this out. I gotta go talk to Janine. I gotta talk to... What was his wife's name again? Monique! That's it. I gotta talk to Monique and Janine. So actually, MM, let's cover him first. MM talks to his wife, and he's getting them the hell out. Because what they're doing could cause a war. A pretty bloody battle. So he got his wife and daughter tickets to get the hell out of there. Monique actually goes in and kisses Marvin. So it seems like they're happy and back together again. I mean, they don't have Todd's massive schlong in the way. Not anymore. So the two of them can hook up again. Monique tries... She tries to plead to Marvin, be like, whatever you're doing, I am so grateful. You protect us so hard. You put so much effort into protecting us. But whatever's coming, come with us. Oh, my 3DS is low on power. I gotta charge it. Hold on. know what, there's no point to me recentering it now, because it's going to get off-centered once I plug it in anyways. So Monique asks MM to go with them, and for a second, he actually considers it. Let's see, over at Vought Tower. Oh, you know what? There's one thing I forgot to mention, or rather, there's two things from the previous episode I forgot to mention. The first one is a safe word. So, last episode, Tech Knight's butler revealed to Huey what the safe word actually was. Hold on. The safe word was Zendaya. So if Huey wanted all of the, you know, the sexual exploits happening to him to stop, he had to say Zendaya. Oh, I don't know how Tom Holland feels about that. How would I feel if my name was the safe word to stop sexual activities? How would I feel about that? Would I feel honored or would I feel disrespected? Because in the case of this, let's face it, Zendaya's not an ugly person. Matter of fact, she's a beautiful person. Would that be the case for me? Would somebody say my name as a safe word just because I'm beautiful? Let's face it, that's not going to be the case. More likely, the case of saying my name as a safe word would be to turn them off. It's just like, oh, there's too much horniness going on. Angus Pang, and then it's just like, oh, that disgusting dude. Oh, now I'm not, now I'm turned off. So yeah, the safe word was Zendaya. Hilarious. I don't know how Tom Holland feels, but maybe he'll find the humor in that being written in. And the second thing I forgot to mention. Oh, give me a second. Ugh. Ooh, I don't know if you heard that. So yeah, the second thing I forgot to mention about the last episode was Firecracker borderline seducing Homelander. Homelander said he's not sexually attracted to her. Which, I'm not gonna lie, that's a bit of an L, brother. But then, Firecracker shows off her goods, literally sprays Homelander with some titty milk. And then Homelander, well, he's intrigued. So what does Homelander want? He asks Firecracker to breastfeed him, cradle him, comfort him. And you know what? I can't blame Homelander. Not because, you know, I want some of that too. Not like that. I mean, I don't blame Homelander in the sense of like, well, I know his backstory now. I know his past. He has mommy issues because he never had a mother. He wants that kind of motherly love. So, you know what? I don't blame Homelander for actually wanting stuff like that. Is it a little bit weird? A little bit, but knowing his backstory, you can't entirely blame him. I mean, call me crazy. Am I the only one who sees the appeal of a rocking chair? You know? Like, I can totally see myself just rocking around in a rocking chair for hours. And I can definitely see myself borderline falling asleep on one. So yeah, I forgot to mention those about the last episode. So this episode, Firecracker claims to Homelander that she knows who the leak is. If it wasn't Tech Knight, if it wasn't Cameron, whatever his last name was. So they go, and it's Webweaver, the real Webweaver, although we know it's not Webweaver. And then he keeps on spraying webs out of his second butthole, because he claims that happens when he's nervous. Well, he can't seem to get the answers out whenever Homelander questions him, and then he just keeps on spraying this, like, ass webs. So Homelander had enough, so he holds him up by the neck, and then he just tears him in half, rips his arm off, tears him in half down the torso. Ooh, it was brutal. I like it. However, as gruesome as that was, it was a little bit, just a little bit underwhelming. Not only did it happen so fast, there was no screaming in pain, there was no struggle, nothing. It was just gore, and that's it. Nothing really stand out about it. I mean, take Walking Dead. Whenever something like this happens, there is so much screaming, so much blood-curdling screams of pain. Remember in season 11 when that one guy got ripped in half? How horrific that sounded? But this, not really that much, you know? Like, if you're gonna do these intense, bloody deaths, at least go all out. Make me hear some blood-curdling scream. Let me see some sort of struggle. Where was the animalistic reflexes for Webweaver to try to fight Homelander off just to stay alive? There was none of that. Homelander just ripped him apart and that's it. Moving on. The visuals were good though. I'll give him that. It was very, very good to look at, gore-wise. So yeah, good on them for that. So Butcher, Huey, and Annie, they go to this apartment building. They search a room. And then they find this woman in the closet. She looks like she's beaten up. And then she's just like, oh, thank God, I've been stuck in there for so long. They killed my husband. I'm just like, who? Like, who's they? But then she started attacking them. She cut Huey's hand pretty deep. And then she just ran. She touched this laundry lady on her way out. And then as she was running away, she started peeling off her own body, peeling off her own skin, to reveal she's a shapeshifter. She can shapeshift into someone she touches, but she needs to peel off the surface level skin to reveal the new body that she has adapted. A part of me was wondering what was the point of this? Because for most of the episode afterwards, what the hell happened there? What was that? Oh, the rubber band for the shoulder button came loose. See? Hold on, let me fix that. Ooh. Oh, music's over also. But yeah, I was kind of wondering, what was the point of this storyline? Because for the rest of the episode, it didn't really serve any purpose. It didn't come back up until it did. So I'll get there when we get there. Okay. Oh, I need to plug this back in. Oh my God, the wires are tangled. Well, Annie was just like, Huey, that cut, it's gonna need stitches. So Huey goes, or claims to go to the ER. But instead, what happened now? But instead, he went to see Victoria Newman in her house. He tries to plead for all of this to stop, for it to not move forward. Oh god, what happened now? So many wires. So it seems like the plot, or the goal that Homelander... What happened now? God's sake. Homelander's goal is to kill the president. Kill the president so that, I guess, Victoria Newman can take over? I'm actually not too clear on what their plan is. Besides, internment camp for all the disgusting humans. And all the soups get to take over the world as, like, the new apex predator, I guess. But Victoria Newman, she's kind of not buying it. You know, as much as I kind of question throughout the plot, like, why doesn't Victoria Newman just kill these guys? You know? She could just kill every member of the boys and just move on. They would no longer be an inconvenience. But Huey was just like, I still have everything you said to Tech Knight, and a lot on you. You kill me, that goes public, whatever. But it's just like... Victoria Newman had so many opportunities to just kill them all at once. Oops, I reset before even the encounter. So I kind of question, why the hell doesn't she just take them all out? You know? It would just make sense for her to do so. But whatever, plot relevance, right? Why doesn't she kill off all her main characters? Well, then there would be no show. There would be no conflict for Homelander. He's just like, oh, William Butcher's dead. Oh, okay. There's no one to thwart my evil plan. I can just go right ahead. Okay. Alright, Mr. President, you're dead. I rule the world now, with my son Ryan. So yeah, Frenchie and Kimiko, while watching Samir work, we learned some backstory to Kimiko. It took 4 goddamn seasons. Kind of feel like it didn't need to, but okay. Why she doesn't talk. So, Kimiko had a pretty rough childhood with Shining Light. So something they were made to do, kind of like a Black Widow program. It was very much like the Black Widow program in the Red Room. So, they need to fight, I guess, to the death with knives and blades. Whoever makes a sound, I guess, is disqualified and receives a bullet. So, to survive, Kimiko needed to be the best fighter. And whenever she did get hurt, she needed to not scream in pain. Whenever Kimiko did get hurt, she just held her voice in. And then when she was allowed to speak again, she just couldn't. She just wouldn't anymore. So Kimiko, that's why she doesn't speak. So you're telling me that she still can. At the very least, she can laugh. But Frenchie, feeling this tremendous self-guilt, he's just like, you didn't have a choice, Kimiko. You shouldn't hate yourself for that. And Kimiko just shot that back at him. You shouldn't hate yourself either. Well, as Shamir finishes his dose, his quote-unquote dose, these dumbasses... These dumbasses got way too close. You never watch any movies? There was literally a scene where Frenchie and MM are watching stuff, albeit doing research on Soldier Boy, but still. You guys never watch any movies where this trope happens? You get too close and then they hit you with the dose or whatever? So these two idiots got too close. Shamir freed himself from his shackles. She doses up Kimiko's leg. And it's actually quite potent. It's potent to the point it starts to spread. And if they did not do something, it would spread to the rest of Kimiko's body and kill her. So they needed to act fast. So Frenchie grabbed his belt, tourniquet that shit, and then, this was not a hatchet cutting off Herschel's leg. No. This one, I think this is worse. This is more painful. It's a hacksaw. He had to saw her leg off in order to prevent the infection. Or not infection, but the spread. And what makes this worse than Herschel? As Rick was chopping off Herschel's leg to stop the walker bite, Herschel was beginning to black out. There was a few whimpers in pain before Herschel just blacked out in, I guess, like pure shock. But Kimiko, I'm not gonna lie, she took it like a boss. She took it like a champ. She didn't even scream in pain. She just stayed silent and took it. Just sawed her leg off. No hesitation. Now, imagine how much harder that would have hit had we been able to hear some screams of pain. Now, I get it. Kimiko is a person who doesn't make sounds with her mouth. Aside from laughing that one time. But, like, you know, the silence... It would have hit harder if it wasn't pure silence. I mean, the only sound you really heard was Frenchie grunting as he's sawing back and forth and, you know, the saw going through her leg and bone. But I kind of question, will Kimiko get her leg back? Well, does that work like that? Remember, Kimiko was shot in the head and she was able to come back. She fell a few stories off of a building. Her face was all sorts of messed up and she still healed from that. So I wonder, Kimiko's able to regenerate, but regenerate wounds. Is she able to regenerate entire severed limbs? Or is Kimiko for the rest of the show gonna be one leg short? I guess we'll see. You know, in reality, how fast you need to amputate? You don't have minutes, you have seconds. And you have seconds for it to be amputated, not to begin amputating. You know how fast blood circulates around the body? Once something's in the bloodstream, it takes seconds for it to spread everywhere. So unless that body part is off in like, what, 10 seconds, if even, it's already too late. But for the sake of Hollywood, and I guess they did do it relatively fast, you know? So, let's see what else happened. We get the scene where Ashley and A-Train... Ashley is actually pretty upset that her assistant's gone. A-Train shows up and questions, where's your assistant at? At first I thought he was talking about other Ashley. Remember her? We haven't seen her in a couple episodes. But it sounds like they were not talking about other Ashley, because they said they said Ashley's assistant was a guy. Maybe she had another assistant, I don't know, someone besides other Ashley. But then she was just like, I had to fire him in order to get him away from here. And then she also grieves Cameron's death, because he was, to them, a good guy, a friend. They killed him because they framed him for being the leak. So, the Deep, he is still with his octopus lover. Alright. But then he gets a text from Sister Sage, who, you know, is having a bad day because Homelander's not really vibing with her anymore. So, the Deep ditches his octopus sex toy to go and smash Sister Sage. Well, when Deep comes back later on, it's revealed that I'm not even going to call this octopus by her name. I don't even know what her name is. I'm just going to call it the octopus. The octopus is like, I know about Sage. So they get into this argument, and then Deep gets all mad. He smashes the fish tank that the octopus was in, and then he closes a door, leaving the octopus to suffocate. And, well, this hardens the Deep. That may not be the best way to phrase it, but that is what it happens. So the Deep, puffing out his chest in front of Homelander, he's just like, Homelander, I am ready now. I will kill whoever you want, whenever you want. I am ready for this now. Just like, okay. Good for you. Okay, go on, do your mission. And it turns out his mission was to go and kill Butcher. Kill the boys. So, when Annie and Butcher go back to their little base of operations, the Deep is there. Actually, wait, before this, another scene happened. So, before this happened, there was a scene where MM was actually packing up and getting ready to leave, but then A-Train shows up and pretty much talks him out of it. Got it? Cool. Okay. So when Annie and Butcher go back, the Deep is there, and he's just like, Homelander's sick of your shit. He called me to kill you. He called me to come and kill you guys, but I didn't come alone. And then, in comes Black Noir. But before that, the Deep said some stuff that I just... I don't know if I'm supposed to like or not. Kudos to the writers, I'm not gonna lie. Good job to the writers for writing this, because this is what you want to hear, but not from the Deep. Not from the Deep. Not him. So the Deep, oh my god, I can't believe they wrote this into the show. I can't believe they really had the Deep say this. They made the Deep say stuff like, you tried to cancel an innocent white man. Your woke stuff didn't work. Me Too didn't work. And guess what? I don't apologize for anything, Starlight. Like, seriously? You actually wrote this into the script. Oh, where do I begin? Where do I begin? Let's start off by saying... Yes. Remember that case a couple years ago where Disney was being sued for discrimination against men? And remember that, I guess, leak that came out where a Disney exec or whatever, he blatantly said they hire off a DEI? And let's face it, we all know that Hollywood, the past couple of years, seem to have a hate boner towards white guys. Let's be honest, we know that's been the case with Hollywood. So for someone to have called that out in a script, good. You know what? Good. Thumbs up. Saying the woke shit didn't work, good. Thumbs up. Saying the Me Too movement didn't work, good. Thumbs up. However, all of this coming from the Deep, thumbs down. No, 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 no. Why would you have him? of all people, say this stuff. And the fact that the Deep even had the balls to say stuff like, an innocent white man. I don't apologize for anything, Starlight. Are you kidding me? Seriously? I'm not gonna further go into that. Like, I hate the Deep so badly. It's just, these characters are not likable. These characters, you just wanna punch them right in the face. You don't like them so much. These are awful people. You see the Deep, you just wanna, you just wanna right across the jaw. And I felt the same about A-Train too, but at least he had some sort of redemption arc in this season. So, they're fighting. They make a mess of their base. Well, sadly, no surprise, these two are no match for the Deep and Black Noir. Also, as Butcher was fighting Black Noir, he fell asleep. Noir fell asleep. And Butcher's just like, he's narcoleptic. Am I crazy, or has that not come up at all this past season? I don't think that was established at all this entire season, that the new Black Noir is narcoleptic. So, for it to just randomly happen here, it just came out of nowhere. It's like, what? What? Why? Why is this being established now? Maybe it was established earlier and I missed it. I don't know. But I just found it weird for them to randomly add this new bit of lore for the new Black Noir. It's just like, it came out of nowhere. So, they're fighting. They're losing. I guess just as Deep is about to kill Starlight, A-Train literally runs in and helps them. It's at this moment that the Deep and Black Noir learned that A-Train was the leak. So, not Tech Knight, not Cameron, not Webweaver. It was A-Train. He's the leak. And then new Black Noir, he's just like, bro. Or whatever he said. Even Annie's like, did he just speak? I guess it does line up that these guys don't know Black Noir was replaced. They don't know that Homelander killed the original Noir, and they don't know that Noir was replaced. So A-Train shows up to join the fight. MM shows up as if this is a subspace emissary cutscene. These characters just randomly show up to join the fight. They get the upper hand. They start whooping these two's asses, and then they win, so they need to leave now. Because they're not going to stay down for long, so they need to leave before they come back and kill them. A-Train runs to Ashley and is like, well, they know I'm the leak. Homelander's going to come for us anytime now. Ashley, you and I got to go. But Ashley, she just can't. She can't leave. So she tells A-Train to cut off his tracker before he goes and runs for his life. I wonder if we're going to see A-Train again. Not that I like him, but, just curious. We haven't seen Queen Maeve this entire season. So, Homelander has now learned that it was A-Train who was the leak, and they even brought him to tears. I mean, I guess it makes sense. They've been friends for who knows how long. And the betrayal? I guess it makes sense it would bring Homelander to tears. We know Homelander's whole thing is, like, he values loyalty the most. So, Sister Sage walks into the room, and she reveals she knew A-Train was a leak. Of course she knew. Of course she knew. Come on, let's face it. We all knew that she knew. For the supposed smartest person in the world, not a chance in hell she did not know A-Train wasn't the leak. So not only did she know, it was all according to plan. She purposely had A-Train leak what she wanted to leak to Butcher and his crew. But had Homelander not interfered and now every bit of her plan is messed up, Homelander's pissed, like, you knew A-Train was the leak and you didn't tell me? I thought we agreed no more secrets. So Homelander decides he is totally done with Sister Sage's shit, so he basically fires her. Sister Sage leaves. Firecracker, trying to comfort Homelander, is like, can I help you with anything? Can I get you anything, sugar? And then I finally get to see the origin to this meme face. The hardest side-eye I've ever seen. The Homelander side-eye. I didn't know the side-eye was looking at them titties. I didn't know that. So I finally got to see the context behind the hardest Homelander side-eye I've ever seen. But, you know, even some breast milk wasn't enough to cheer Homelander up in the moment. On their way out, as Deep and Black Noir are just constantly exchanging bros back and forth, because now they have to tell Homelander they failed their mission. It's like, sucks to be those two. Sister Sage walks by. She's just like, I got fired, bye. Black Noir is just like, but all that time we had sex, was that nothing? Did that mean nothing? So he just spills the beans, and then Deep is just like, what? You've been smashing her too? You've been lobotomizing her to get some of that action too? Black Noir is just like, lobotomize? What do you mean? Damn! Sister Sage a hoe! Sister Sage belongs on the streets. God damn, Sister Sage dirty for that. I wonder if we'll see Sister Sage again. Maybe she'll come up with this, like, mastermind plan to get revenge on Homelander. We'll see. So, there's this bar scene where, you know, their base of operations trashed. Butcher, and Annie are having drinks, and then this lady comes up and takes a selfie with Starlight, with Annie. Okay, cool. Oh yeah, during the fight against Noir and Deep, Butcher losing the fight, he's just like, Kessler, what you did to Ezekiel, do it now. But no dice. I guess we'll see that happen when Butcher quote-unquote brutally kills Victoria Newman. Don't you just hate when YouTube titles spoil what's gonna happen? I didn't watch the video, obviously, but I know it's coming. And I know of some sort of, like, Slender Man tentacles that come out of Butcher. I don't know, I'll have to see. I was told that the season 4 finale was gross. And I'm just like, good. Good. I ain't seen really nothing too bad yet. In this entire show, it's kind of disappointing. There's some pretty awesome gory moments, but they're very few. And like I said, the gory moments don't really faze me. I want something that truly disgusts me. I want something that makes me sick to my stomach. Why do you think to this day I still haven't rewatched Noah's death scene? It is so brutal. I've seen it once, and I was never able to watch it again. I'm not gonna lie, there are some Walking Dead deaths that make me almost want to throw up. And watching The Boys, so far, nothing. So far, it's like, meh. I've seen worse. Would you believe I may be the only person to say this. I'm a little disappointed by the gore in The Boys. I expected more. I expected more. So, oh, speaking of Starlight, earlier in the episode, Huey actually reveals that he kept the Starlight costume that Annie dumped at the end of Season 3. He kept it just in case Annie might ever want it again. Okay. So, after the bar, they go their separate ways for now. MM calls Monique, tells her that I ain't coming. You keep our girl safe. I gotta finish this. Annie goes back home to Huey. Huey reveals that he didn't go to the ER. He went and saw Victoria Newman. And then Annie comes in wearing her Starlight costume. And then she just takes off her panties and is just like, be honest, you fantasized about this costume, didn't you? Huey's just like, I mean, I didn't not fantasize about it. And you know what? Rare Huey W. Huey has had it rough, very rough, the past couple of years. You know what? It's a sound he was making to her, but huge Huey W right there. Even Homelander said it himself at some point in the show. I forget exactly which episode. You know, superhero fantasies. Oh, come on. You can't tell me I'm not the only one who would like characters like Wonder Woman and Black Widow to sit on my face. You can't tell me I'm the only one. We all have superhero fantasies. So, Huey, massive W, my man. So, we get to see the two of them fuck. But no explicit detail, sadly. I don't exactly want to see Jack Quaid's meat. But Aaron's, you know, it's a different story. What am I saying anymore? We do get to see Annie's sweet cheeks later on, but there's a twist coming. Annie goes to a safe, opens it, she reaches for whatever's inside, and then her eyes signal that it's not Annie, it's the shapeshifter from earlier. I was wondering, like, how is that storyline relevant? Because it didn't really follow back up at all in the episode, until it did. Annie has been replaced by the shapeshifter. It's almost as if this is Secret Invasion. So Annie wakes up, chained up in this dungeon. And the question is, when did she get swapped out? Well, it was the woman who took a selfie with her in the bar. Direct contact so the shapeshifter can copy Annie. And then she got gassed and took later on. So, Huey smashed not Annie. Damn, and the scene that we saw, you know it was genuine too. The stimulations, the sensations Huey felt in that moment were real. I did see one title of a video online. I didn't watch the clip. I saw there was some sort of title like Annie is angry at Huey for cheating on her. So I guess I know what's gonna happen soon. But in Huey's defense, he didn't know. How could he know? And well, that's where the episode ends. It's revealed that Annie was swapped out by the shapeshifter. A lot of things happened in this episode. You know, a lot of storylines getting wrapped up, setting up new storylines for the future, maybe the next season. Another small storyline that happened that barely matters, at least I think for now. Ryan, at the beginning, he wasn't really feeling that puppet holiday musical thing. The musical was saying, like, report bad people, even if they're your parents, report that pedophile coming towards you, whatever, something like that. So that rubs Ryan the wrong way. Not the groomer part, but, you know, the reporting on your parents part. Because Ryan stands up for himself. He is just like, no, don't cut to commercial, please. So he says to the world, like, family's all we have. My mom, I've been thinking about her, she loved Christmas. And then he was about to say something. He was about to be like, the truth is... And then he's just like, no, I'm sorry, never mind. And then he just walks off. Ryan was about to lay some hard truth bombs on us, but then he kind of chickens out. I wonder what he was going to say. You know, there was another thing. Like I said, this episode had a time jump forward. It's now Christmas time. Butcher did actually get Ryan a gift. And on the wrapping, the way it's said for Ryan to understand, or the message written on it for Ryan to realize this is from Butcher, is don't be a cunt. So he instantly knew this gift is from Butcher. And the gift was a framed picture of himself, Butcher, Becca, and their bulldog. You know, it's a picture of Butcher and Ryan's mother, which is a really nice gift. The reason I bring this up is because, oh yeah, Butcher had a bulldog. What happened to that little guy? Huh. I completely forgot Butcher had a bulldog. Anyways, there you go. One episode left. I was told this last episode would be gross. Excellent. If I am not severely grossed out, I will be extremely disappointed. 4 seasons, and I will have been barely phased. Oh, also... so they got a hold of Kimiko's leg infected by the virus, and they're thinking, can we duplicate it? Can we use this to kill Homelander? Probably not, but the dose might be able to kill Victoria Newman. So there is that. Alright, The Boys. Give me a second. I got lights to turn off. The house having no dogs at all feels so quiet and empty. Feels like something's missing. But it's a good change of scenery for Sky. I don't want him to always be alone in the house, missing his brother. A change of locations is good. Might help him think less about what happened to his brother. Where's he at? Do I have time to cover Arcane? I might have to cover Eyes of Wakanda next time. Oh, this season has 9 episodes. Oh, I didn't know that. I thought Arcane Season 2 had 8 episodes. Wait, how many episodes was in Season 1? Oh, it was 9. Oops. My bad. Oh, I didn't know that. My bad. So this episode was pretty crazy. This episode of Arcane, Season 2, Episode 7, followed our characters and what happened to them after being inside of the Hex Core, or the big-ass Hex tech underground. We open up with Echo, and he seems to get these, like, weird headaches, weird flashes of things. But then he notices his surroundings completely wrong. He's in fancy, clean clothes. He's back at his childhood home, I guess. And Jinx, or not Jinx, Powder. Powder's all grown up and looking normal. Aside from that, Benzie is here and alive. So Echo begins to realize something's wrong. Something's not right here. This may not be the world that I come from. You know, familiar faces. Some of them are not enemies. Some of them are back alive. Some of them are alive again. For example, we see Milo and Clagger. They're alive and grown up. I don't know who voices Clagger, but hey, Yuri Lowenthal actually returned to voice a grown-up Milo. I was wondering, are they going to change his voice now that he's older? Nope. Still the voice of Peter Parker. It's pretty funny. Yosuke Hanamura here actually hits on this bartender, whoever she is. Okay, so Echo realizes something's wrong. Heimerdinger shows up, pretending like nothing's wrong. So they go and have a chat, and then Heimerdinger reveals that whatever happened to them inside of the Hex Core seems to have distorted them, displaced them throughout not only space, but also time, possibly into parallel dimensions. Does this episode alone confirm multiverse is real? Probably. Echo understandably asks, how long have you been here? Heimerdinger was just like, what did he say, 1,000 days? Or what did he say? Hold on. 1,128 days, 6 hours, and 20 minutes. So 1,000 plus days, that's roughly 3 years, give or take. So Heimerdinger showed up here in this other dimension maybe 3 years ago. And this whole time he was waiting for maybe Echo to show up, if he would ever show up. Damn, that's kind of rough. Yes, Heimerdinger has a longer lifespan, but, you know, to be displaced in another universe and not know if someone else with you will also be displaced, that's kind of rough. Heimerdinger had to wait 3 years. He could have waited 10. He could have waited 50. He didn't know how long he had to wait. Damn, that's rough. Echo asks if Jace is here as well, but no, it seems like Jace is elsewhere. And yeah, poor Jace. Echo and Heimerdinger, they ended up in a really good universe. None of that war shit, none of that conflict between Piltover and Zon bullcrap. They actually showed up in a pretty peaceful universe. So Powder shows up, and she's just like, I'm going to see Vi. You want to join in? And so Echo joins in. Well, they go back to Powder's residence, which is her lab as Jinx, but Vi's not there. There's a picture of Vi and a doll. Vi has died in this timeline. And it's revealed what happened. Vi died the night of that mission. The mission we saw in the very first episode. Turns out it was Echo who tipped them off about that job. Now, maybe I forgot about that, or maybe I missed that. But in this universe, in this timeline, that's the Nexus event. If the mission went wrong that night and Vi passed away that night, then damn, this is a pretty peaceful universe. This is a pretty good timeline, but at what cost? So they also realize there's no hex tech in this universe, so there's not exactly any way for them to get back to their universe. Heimerdinger kind of doesn't entirely want to go back, because this is a much better universe than the hellhole they came from. But, you know, Echo wants to go back, because there's people back home that are waiting for him, that need him. And I'm kind of thinking, so Echo said, I'm going to find a way back home with or without you. So that had me thinking, Heimerdinger, he's very smart. He's very old. He's been here for 3 years plus. He probably tried to find a way back. But clearly he didn't. So what makes Echo think he can find a solution back right away? Well, he found a solution back right away. He went back to the place that night where everything went wrong. Where the one Nexus event happened, and Vi died that night. He searches everywhere, the cracks in the walls, and he finds shards of a broken hex core. So he gathers those in hopes that that will be able to help him kind of recreate hex tech and get back home. So they do just that. So, blah, blah, blah. Echo shows Powder a painting of Vi in his timeline. Blah, blah, blah. So he manages to get Powder to help them out with developing this hex tech. So we get this montage. And then it seems like it works. Only, it's not perfect yet. The little hex tech that they are able to make, every time the person uses it, they go back like 1 second, a time loop. So they test how far back they really can go. Well, the limit is 4 seconds. Longer than 4 seconds, then people start dying. Well, the technology is not perfect just yet, but they have a party to attend. Heimerdinger opts to stay back to upgrade the tech, while Echo and Powder, they have a good time. Hey, good looking out there, Heimerdinger. So they party. Echo gets his last words in with Benzie before he might have to leave, so that's good. Turns out Silco's there too. In this timeline, they made peace. That's nice. And, well, Echo sees a very nice-looking Powder show up on the dance floor, and then they dance. I've been in these positions before, just not the actual person dancing on the dance floor. I was more so the guy on the side watching everyone dance. Just cause, well, I wasn't dancing. So I was more so at these kind of party settings, but I was never the guy dancing with the girl on the dance floor, I tell you that. Well, in this timeline, Echo and Powder have grown close. They dance, they talk under the moonlight, they even kiss. But then Echo has to go back to the lab, where Heimerdinger seems to have perfected the technology, at least enough to where they can go back. Just as they activate the machine, Heimerdinger, for some stupid reason, jumps out. And it might seem like it vaporized Heimerdinger. We don't know what happened to him just yet. Echo goes back to his timeline, while Heimerdinger kind of just vanishes. And then the Echo of this reality wakes back up. It was kind of like X-Men Days of Future Past, where Logan inhabited his younger body, his younger self's body. It was kind of like that. Echo inhabited this parallel version of himself, inhabited that person's body. So, yeah, it looks like Echo's going back to his world, and we don't know what happened to Heimerdinger. So that's plotline A in this episode. Plotline B, we follow Jace. Like I said, Echo and Heimerdinger, they got pretty lucky going to this world. Well, Jace didn't luck out so much. Jace, instead of going to a peaceful, good alternative universe, he seems to have ended up in a dystopian wasteland of a future. So Jace is alone. He sees vaporized bodies. He sees what remains of Piltover. It's a wasteland. Everything's destroyed. There's no life. There's not even color. Or at least not really. So where Jace was, Piltover is gone. And then Jace just keeps on walking around, exploring. He notices that these almost re-dead beings start moving and chasing him. So Jace runs in fear, but then he trips. As he's tripping and falling down in an abyss, the hammer he wields actually hits his leg and breaks it. I guess that hammer's heavier than it looks. You know how much testosterone you need to lift that thing? Jace wakes up injured, alone, trapped deep underneath a crevice, and he needs to survive. He has a broken leg too, so he kind of needs to survive until his leg heals. And once his legs heals, he's able to try to climb back up. Oh yeah, also, throughout Jace's storyline, he sees this white hooded figure periodically. This white hooded figure, like this white hooded Grim Reaper watching him. So Jace, who knows how long Jace has been down there. He needs to feed on animals, dead animal carcasses to live. We even see a time jump of the hammer rusting away. Jace carves a bunch of stuff onto the walls. His hair and beard grows out, so that explains why Jace looks the way he did when he came back. I also questioned that about the previous episode too. When Jace came back, why was he so hell-bent on destroying Hextech? Well, now we see. He saw the future and what Hextech caused. It caused the death of everything and the destruction of everyone. What? I said that wrong. He saw the death of everyone and the destruction of everything. And it was all caused by Hextech. So in Jace's mind, Heimerdinger was right when Heimerdinger warned him about it. So after who knows how long, Jace's broken leg finally healed. He's able to climb back up. Or maybe not healed, he tourniquet that shit. If not healed, then, you know, somewhat healed, maybe not fully. Jace climbs out, he keeps moving through this wasteland, and then he sees this dead figure posing. And then he's just like, this is where it started, isn't it? This is where Hextech started and where it all happened. Send me back so I can prevent this, so I can destroy Hextech and prevent this from happening. So Jace gets sent back to his timeline. And then we saw what happened. Jace was hell-bent on destroying the Hextech. For the most part, there you go. That's the episode. Interesting to think that the multiverse exists here. So I guess I don't have enough time for Eyes of Wakanda. I'll cover that next time. Well, one more episode of The Boys, 2 more episodes of Arcane, and 1 more episode of Eyes of Wakanda. But 2 more to discuss. And a Giratina that refuses to be shiny. I might just go ahead and watch The Boys Season 4 finale tonight. Just to get it over with, because I am super curious what's so gross about this. And besides, I pretty much have the house to myself, so I can watch it worry-free without anyone coming over and be like, the hell are you watching? Why are you watching something so brutal? Or whatever. We'll see. Well, I'm about to end this soon. Seems like no shiny Giratina again tonight. I was about to think I need to let my dog out soon, but no, he's not even here. I'll do one more reset for tonight. And nothing, goodbye now. Oh, nice shiny? I wish. Okay. See you next time. Bye.